Anyone who knows me knows that goalies are my favourite position in hockey. Goaltending is my kind of love in terms of positions in hockey. Absolutely obsessed. Goalies are my weakness. But right now, as a Leafs fan, goaltending is also my biggest concern and my biggest stress about the team right now. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Victoria and I talk about all things hockey and baseball related from across the pond in Scotland. And if you're always here, thank you so much for watching. Please join in. Today we're talking Leafs goaltending scenarios, my gravest concern right now about the franchise and about next season. I feel like we have a lot of good players already, our core is amazing. I know there's going to be a lot of depth movement, we've got a lot of UFAs coming up, only a couple days until free agency guys, only a couple days. But I feel like the rest of the team is pretty strong and I don't feel too concerned about it. What I do feel concerned about, however, is the goaltending, or lack of goaltending currently as we speak. So as we speak right now, I don't know when this is going up because I'm having some Wi-Fi problems, guys, so I'm going to try and get this up on time, but if I don't, it's not from a lack of trying, it is from my Wi-Fi being a pain in the arse. So it's currently 2 days until free agency, and as of right now, the Leafs have not re-signed Jack Campbell and they haven't signed any other viable starting goaltender realistically. Obviously we have Sjogren and we have Wall, which I will get into, but they are not really of starting experience yet, in my opinion. As a backup, yes. As a starter, no. So as time goes on, there's less options becoming available for the Leafs to actually sign in terms of goaltending. You know, they already missed out on Fleury and Husso, which were two guys that I really had my eye on in particular for the Leafs to have next season, but those two have already gone. The options are thinning out, and I think all Leafs fans right now are concerned about goaltending next season. It has to be a priority. Last season we had a disaster when it came to goaltending. Mrazek obviously just didn't work out for us, and as good as Jack Campbell was, we were very reliant on him playing, and when he went through injuries and stuff, we were pretty screwed in terms of goaltending then too. So this season it has to be a priority for Dubas to be getting the goaltending depth sorted out, and right now with the options thinning out, I'm getting more concerned than ever that that is not going to happen. So obviously during the draft the other night, Thursday night, Friday morning. It's hard when it's in the middle of the night, guys, you lose track of what day's which. Anyway, during the draft, obviously we saw Mrazek traded to Chicago, which I thought was a good deal. I've seen other people complaining about losing a first round pick to that. However, when you've got pick number 25 and you're only going down 13, I really don't think there's that much of a difference, and sometimes you have to accept that a signing didn't work and you just have to get the best deal possible to get yourself out of it, and I do feel like that was probably the best deal outcome we could have got. No salary retention, which was huge to me. I thought we'd have to retain like 50% or something like that. So I think we got a pretty good deal on Mrazek. So off to a good start in terms of freeing up some cash to pay a goaltender. However, as I said, the options for goaltenders to actually give any offers to is very steadily thinning out. There's also serious talks between Jack Campbell and Edmonton, it seems, and it really seems like the Oilers might take on Soup next season, which is kind of devastating me because yes, I am emotionally attached to Soup, and I'm also not convinced that any other goaltender is going to be a better option for us. I know that Jack has his flaws, all goaltenders do, you know, they're a bit fluky goalies, they always are. However, Jack knows the Leafs, he loves Toronto, he has a real passion for the team, and he's something that we could at least improve and develop upon. Whereas bringing in a new goaltender, you run the risk of having another Mrazek situation like last year, which was just an absolute disaster. So if Jack Campbell is going to the Edmonton Oilers, as is highly suspected and anticipated right now, where does that leave us? As I mentioned, obviously we have Sjögren and Wall, so let's have a quick look at their experience in the NHL. So starting off with Wall, he's only played 4 NHL games and he finished with a 3-1 record and a .911 save percentage, which I know is good, but it's a very small sample size. There's a lack of experience there. I could not put my confidence in that as a starting goaltender for a team that want to go on a cup run. His AHL numbers as well in comparison are not that great, however the leagues are very different and it's not always fair to compare the two, but there's a lack of NHL experience in there for sure. Sjögren has a better sample size. He played 14 regular season games and he partially played one of the playoff games against Tampa last season. He had an 8-4-1 record and a .888 save percentage. Is that really starting goalie calibre in the NHL? No. Like, I really like Sjögren. I really like him. I really rate him. And if I saw him as a backup, I would feel okay with that. I'd like to see him getting the experience. I'd like to see more of what he can do. And if he was a backup to a really solid starter, I would be okay with that. I would be very happy with that as a tandem. However, with him as a starter, I just don't think that's viable and I don't think that's something that Dubas would go for either. So basically they're going to have to look elsewhere for their goalie for next season. So where do they look? You know, as I already mentioned, the likes of Husso and Fleury, who were 2 of the biggest contenders in terms of the goaltending market right now, they are both gone. The market is running very, very thin. There's not a lot left to choose from, and so looking elsewhere and looking externally is not as easy as it sounds. And even though we freed up some cash, you know, from the Mrazek trade, clearly it's not enough to entice Jack Campbell in, so what is there to say it's going to be enough to entice someone else in? The main goalie right now that seems to be in intense discussion, I believe it was quoted, is Matt Murray from the Ottawa Senators. He is a veteran cup winner, but he almost seems as risky to me as what Jack does. Matt Murray is not the most consistent of goaltenders, and there would need to be a lot of salary retention on Ottawa's side for me to feel comfortable with seeing that. But he seems to be the one that the intense discussions are with right now. And obviously, I am not a GM. I am not professionally qualified to make these decisions, but this is my channel, this is my little corner of the internet, and so these are my thoughts on goalies. If you don't agree with them, that's okay. Please, in the comments down below, if you don't agree with any of this, please give me your point of view. I love seeing different opinions and different takes, and I'm well aware that I am not a GM. I don't want to be a GM, it's not an aspiration of mine, but I do like sharing my opinions about sport on the internet, so these are my opinions. And in my opinion, Matt Murray, I would feel concerned about. I mean, at the end of the day, if we sign him, and he's playing for us, I would support him as fully as I would do any other player on the Leafs, and I really hope that he would maybe the change of scenery would be really good for him and he could be a good goaltender for us. But I do have my concerns. I don't think he's going to come that cheaply, and I'm not sure he's going to be better than what Jack could bring us, so I'm not fully sold on that idea, as you can tell, but we'll wait and see, I guess. Again, another option, and the option that I wanted secondary to... I want Jack Campbell back. That, right now, looking at the market, that's my ideal. My second to that would have been Darcy Kemper of the Colorado Avalanche, who I think is not a perfect goalie. Similar to Jack in some ways, and obviously I know that he did just win a cup, which will also raise the price tag, but in my opinion, Colorado won the cup because of their loaded defence and offence. I don't think it was a goaltending based win, like often we see from Tampa Bay Lightning games. Like sometimes I think theirs is genuinely won by goaltending. I don't see Colorado in that way. Colorado was a much well-rounded team in my opinion, and so Darcy Kemper I think would have been a good option for us, but all I'm seeing is rumours about him going to Washington, and I could see him going to the Caps next, so we'll see, I guess. I also know that New Jersey's Blackwood will be available, I'm guessing, which, I mean, I don't think I would like as a starter, but again, like, if we somehow got the deals, having my ideal, Jack Campbell, Blackwood as backup, and then you've got like Sjögren and Wall still there to pull up in case of injury or anything like that. That would be my ideal looking right now, but realistically I don't think that's what's going to happen. So basically that's kind of the scenarios. There's not a lot left on the goalie market this season. There's not a lot to go off of. I'm very concerned about it. That's why I'm concerned about it. And I just want to see Jack back, and I know that a lot of people don't, but I just think that right now Preferably a short-term contract with Jack would do us best. Feel free to disagree with me here, this is just my opinion and my emotional attachment to Jack, and I just love guys that love playing for their team. I just feel like they'll try so much more if they're playing somewhere they love, and I know how much Jack loves Toronto, so that also entices me. And I can't forget what he did for us back in that amazing December run, and some of those playoff games even, where Jack was one of the strongest players on the team. I just can't quite forget any of that, and it really makes me want him back, basically. But it's looking less and less likely by the day, and I'm trying to just be realistic and face the fact that he's probably not coming back. So let me know down in the comments down below what you think about goaltending right now. I am hoping that this goes up on time. If this doesn't go up in time and the Leafs have signed goaltender already, I am not sitting here oblivious to the news. I'm having Wi-Fi issues, like big time, and I'm working from home today and it's causing a lot of stress. So I took a break to come film this basically, because this is like my little sanctuary space. Anyway, I will try and get this up as soon as I possibly can, and as soon as the Wi-Fi will allow me to. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this video with anybody who might like it as well. Very grateful to see more and more people watching my videos. It means the absolute world to me because I love doing this. And I will be back soon with more hockey or baseball chats from across the pond. Bye, guys.